Hi everyone, welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Happy Wednesday to you guys. I hope all is well and everyone's doing good. Well, it's that time again. It's almost Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are relaxing, enjoying your time off, looking forward to family or whatever it is that you are going to be doing. I'm just glad that we have the time off. I have been exhausted, guys. So I'm resting. I'm here now to sit down and, spend some time with you guys after a long day. And I want to talk about, before we get into this topic of discussion, I want to talk about the, hold on, guys. I want to talk about the video I did yesterday. I don't know what happened, but I did a video, Let Others Carry Their Own Burdens. And after I did the video and I went to upload it, it actually wasn't there. But as I was doing the video, I could see that it looked like it, the camera was rolling. But I don't know what happened to it. So I did a short one because I had to go. I had a meeting. However, I am doing a part 2 to that video so that I can sit and spend time with you guys and actually discuss the topic of discussion with you. So that's what I'm here to do today. And I hope you guys, watch this video in your spare time and invite others to do the same, because these messages will help somebody who might be going through trials and tribulations and they may feel alone, and they don't have to. Remember, we all have a choice in these matters. So keep in mind, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a social worker or a counselor, just someone who speaks from a personal point of view due to the experiences and trials that I went through and how I overcame them instead of succumbing to them. And it's not easy, it's a constant battle. But however, guys, as I continue to persevere, bite, and crawl through, things get better. I am starting to see the fruits of my hard labor, as you will too if you don't give up on you. So guys, with that being said, let's get into this topic of discussion. Remember, this is part 2 of what I did yesterday, and it's called Let Others Carry Their Own Burdens, part 2. Before I get into that, I want to take the time to talk briefly about my friend Ramonda, who passed away on October 23rd. It's very new to me, and it just hurts a lot, guys, because as I said in prior videos, if you haven't watched it, please go back and watch it, that she didn't have to pass away. Her passing happened, after not really getting the help that she needed. And as I talk about this cult-like organization that we both grew up into, I left a long time ago in my 20s. I think she just left maybe almost a year ago, but she became inactive and she needed help. And the members of the congregation was told not to help her, not to do anything for her, nothing. And so she just succumbed to the health issues that she had. And I'm talking about it, and I'm very careful as to what I say, because a lot was shared with me about what happened, and it kind of pissed me off and made me sad at the same time, because it did not have to happen. And it makes me realize how sadistic people are in this world, and how wicked they are, how some people are. I didn't want to believe that, but this is a lot. And I just want to take the time to remember her, because she's not here. Her children, her grandchildren, and they're grieving really hard right now. because it was so unexpected the way this happened. And I kept telling her to hold on. I'm going to try to see what I could do. And then she just kept saying to me, goodbye, Lisa, goodbye. And I'm like, it can't end like this. And because of it, it just makes me look at things and the whole situation in a different perspective. And I just want to take the time to just remember her and to learn from it, and just hopefully this doesn't happen to anybody else. It's so much going on in this world on a negative. And what I've learned from the situation directly from her mouth, it is just overwhelming. But I lost a good friend, and it takes time to get over it. So one day at a time, one step at a time. So now with that being said, guys, a lot of folks didn't want me to talk about it, but I'm going to speak up and talk about it. I'm not going to share specifics, but I will acknowledge what was said to me and how difficult it was for her and how painful it was. I will not stop talking about that because there's a lot of things that go on there that affect people's lives on a huge level, and it needs to be addressed. It reminds me of the scripture in the Bible that says, what is in the dark shall be exposed to the light, and therefore render powerless. Because when you talk about these things, and you don't have to give specifics, I never really do, it shed light to the situation, and it does render it powerless because now it's being spoken out, and some of the things that happened with her should have never happened. And just taking the time to talk with her family that's left behind in this aftermath of what happened to her, and just one day at a time. Grief is so difficult, guys, but one day at a time, one step at a time. So with that being said on that subject, I'm going to now get into the topic of discussion, but I just wanted to take the time to acknowledge that because her family is experiencing their first holidays without her. It just happened. So my condolences to them. So getting into this topic of discussion, guys, let others carry their own burdens. What I've learned so far is to stop giving to others who give nothing back to you. Stop skipping, hopping, and jumping through hoops for people who will not do the same for you. And because it gets you nowhere. Letting others carry their own burdens was a difficult lesson for me to learn. It took me a long time to learn this lesson, guys. The first half of my life, that's all I was doing, being subservient to other people, jumping through hoops, letting people treat me like a doormat, and thinking it was my responsibility to carry their burdens because they didn't want to carry their own burdens. And more importantly, I was afraid to say no, because saying no means that maybe they will not talk to me anymore, and I was afraid of those things back then when I was allowing this to take place in my life. Being used and abused, treated like a doormat for years, just because we share DNA or we grew up together, is not okay. I grew up like in a house where I had to really learn how to change my mindset, because the mindset was put yourself last, do everything for everybody else. What's being said or done in this house stays in this house. But nobody can heal when these things are done like that, guys. You can't heal from it if you're not discussing the pain, the trauma. It stays stuck and stagnated within you. So I had to learn and work really hard to change that mindset, because it's not okay. And it was not working for me. It was just making the trauma, the pain, that much worse. And one of the things is that dealing with people who refuse to do the work to carry their own burdens. They want you to do it for them. So just as I use as a metaphor, you're carrying your own burdens on your back and the burdens of other people. You can't make it up that hill if you're doing that, because the load is too heavy. Just imagine trying to carry your burdens and someone else's burdens up a hill. These burdens will weigh you down. It will become too much where you cannot carry these burdens. And, it took me, I was going back and forth with this for a long time, feeling obligated because family, friends, and etc. and so forth. But you're not obligated or responsible for adult people who need to carry their own burdens. What helped me a lot, guys, was therapy, and setting boundaries helped me tremendously. To change my broken mindset, to say no to these folks and let these folks carry their own burdens without me feeling guilty for it, because I wasn't responsible for whatever was going on in their life. But I was made to feel that way for a very long time. But people only do what you allow. If you allow folks to do this, this is what they would do. And what helped me the most also, when I realized, I sat down, because we were in a period like in 2020 where we just was stuck. We couldn't go out to go to work except for to go to the supermarket to get groceries and come back. So I had a long time, guys, to think about things from that time point up until just, recently. Is when I look back at all the years I lost, being subservient to other people, putting my stuff on a back burner to take care of other people, run, skip, and hop, and jump through hoops, and other people allowing me to do it, but they're not helping me or being there for me. I look at that and I say, I wasted a lot of years that I can't recoup, that I can't get back, doing things, letting people just do and say whatever, dealing with their toxicity, their toxic ways, and etc. and so forth. And it made me neglect my own needs and my own situation for a very long time. And I cannot go back in a time machine and recoup all that time that I lost of being subservient to others. It's just time that I could never get back. And that made me do the work. That alone, especially when I was sitting in all that pain with all these losses that was taking place in 2020. And none of these people could even be there for me. Well, they're busy. They didn't have time. As I ponder over these things, guys, I got angry, really angry, because I realized that these folks didn't give a damn about me or what happened to me. And I didn't want to believe that at first, but it's the truth. They didn't. So after doing the work and crying, and crying is also an outlet for pain, I started to realize, as I did the work with my therapist, that these people thought I was soft, naive, just because I was nice, kind. I'm still that nice, kind person, but I'm a person who will tell you how I feel. I'm that person today who will set those boundaries. And when people think they can skip, hop, and jump over those boundaries, disrespect them, I will reiterate them. And if it continues, then I will cut them off. Cut the cord on all this toxicity and negativity. And it takes me a minute to do that, because once I cut that cord, there is no reconciling. There is no anything. That is the resolution at that point. Because when people can't respect you and your boundaries, and they want to use you and abuse you, then you have to look at things from a different perspective. Why am I allowing this to take place? And a lot of times our self-esteem is so low that we need to restore it. We need to heal, and I couldn't do anything until I got to the place of healing, looking at my life, looking at what's going on, and then realizing and addressing that elephant in the room instead of pretending it's not there. And once I faced everything I needed to face, then I was able to do the work to heal slow, you know, the crying, the pain, not alone, because it's not a one-man show. I asked God to help me. And as I asked God to help me and he started to help me, I started to make vows to him. And I keep those vows. One of the vows is to do this channel to help other people who might feel alone and might feel like they're misunderstood or not being understood at all because of everything that they may be going through, and asking themselves, why me? You know, and that's the point I was in 2020 and for half of my life. Why me? Why did people think it's okay to do these things to me? But as my therapist helped me to see, people do what you allow them to do. And so I had to set strong boundaries. And when they laughed at them and disregard them, then I cut the cord, cut off, block, and delete folks from my life so that I can focus on me. I chose myself out of all of the chaos and toxicity and all of it. I chose God and myself. You know, and I'm glad I did, because now I'm at a place of inner peace. I'm unbothered by the noise of what people have going on, what they're saying, what they're not saying, etc. and so forth. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore, because I see it for what it is and not what I wanted it to be. It's important, guys, to raise your vibration so that you can heal and self-heal and self-care. Because as you do that, you start to love on yourself, self-love. And once you get to that point, you see things for what's for your highest good and what's not for your highest good, you know. And I started to see things from a different perspective. And as I started to see these things for what they really was, I was able to address it. But I had to raise my self-esteem, because for so long I dealt with the abuse and all of the disrespect, all of it. You know, raise your self-esteem, tune out the noise around you, because as you start to set boundaries, people are going to feel some kind of way about it. Because especially those who are used to just barging in on your time, disrespecting what your boundaries, etc., they're going to feel some kind of way. So, you know, you have to sometimes reiterate those boundaries. And then I started to do the work, and then I started to speak up for myself, guys, which I've never done before in the past. And as I did that, people felt some kind of way, and the haters and everybody was coming forward. And then I just said, no, enough. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not allowing anyone to put burdens or monkeys on my back. This belongs to you and you get to carry it. And what it is some people just too lazy. They don't want to do the work to carry their own burdens, you know. But it's not my place or your place to carry them. So I took these burdens and monkeys off my back and left them with who they belong with. And I moved on to heal and take care of me. Cut the cord and pull the plug on this toxicity, because just because somebody is your family or you grew up with them, you're not obligated to take care of their responsibilities that they lack to take care of for themselves. We are responsible as adults for ourselves. And sometimes we have to have those hard conversations with folks, uncomfortable conversations, you know, and when we do that, then we can start healing and taking care of ourselves. Remember, guys, you have a decision in this. You know, it's your decision to set these boundaries and let people know that you are not going to allow them to take advantage of you or bring toxicity to your table. Now, guys, you know, it is better to be at a place of inner peace, because when you're at inner peace, you're unbothered by the noise around you. You can focus on your growth, your healing, and taking care of you. And that's not a selfish thing, especially your mental and physical health, because without that, you can't take care of yourself or anything else around you. Now, guys, the question is, who will you choose? Yourself or the toxicity? That's the message today, guys. Thank you for being here. Have a great Thanksgiving. And remember, guys, it is better to be at a place of inner peace instead of broken down into pieces. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I will not be here tomorrow because of Thanksgiving, but I will be back on Friday. Please subscribe to the channel, invite others to do so, and continue to heal yourself. Take time on a daily basis to take care of yourself, whether there's an hour, 2 hours, to just build yourself up and be around people who are going to motivate you as well. Sometimes we have to close doors to things in the past that continue to bring negativity and toxicity to our life. But I promise you, as you do the work, ask God to help you, He's going to open up better doors, and better people and situations will come into your life. And I'm talking from experience. Okay, guys, that's the message today. Thank you once again for being here. And look at the links that I provided at the end of the video. It may help you also. If some of you having anxiety, it may help you to ease the anxieties. I do little things like oils and bracelets and music, and all these things help to build up my mental and physical, which is so important. So once again, guys, have a great Thanksgiving. This is Lisa shedding love and light, and I'll see you guys again on Friday. Subscribe to the channel so that you can be here when I'm on. Bye for now, guys.